Where's this?
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Honey!
What?
Where's my super suit?
Assemble.
What a lovely morning.
The Addams Family. Now, this is one of two animated movies that I caught in the back half of this year that, again, were totally out of nowhere. Was not expected to enjoy as much as I did. Like, I had Addams Family on my anticipated, but in terms of how much I thought I was going to enjoy it versus how much I ended up enjoying it, it's like between this and one other movie that I have on this list, it just felt like such a great throwback to all of the great Pixar and Disney and Dreamworks movies that I had growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Wake the children.
Hello world is a song that we sing.
All right, I'm awake.
Just that joke a minute, just completely batshit, like, absurdist comedy that I absolutely love, while still maintaining the characters' groundedness enough. And I know that sounds hilarious and ironic considering the fact this is the freaking Addams Family I'm talking about. But it really, I would say, that Conrad Vernon and Greg Tiernan, the two directors of this, do a really good job, I feel like, of anchoring down the Addams Family lore with kind of a more modern-day setting. And in a way, it actually makes this film, like, really surprisingly well suited for the modern day in terms of throwing in all the stuff that it does about, like, technology and social media. And it's hilarious because the villain is basically the equivalent of Big Brother in this, but when you pit them up against the Addams Family, it's absolutely hilarious.
Thank you, old boy. Lead the way.
Make you happy.
In terms of like a really good overall sweet coming together message, you know, getting over initial exterior differences. It's a theme that I feel like you could do a million times over, and as long as it stays different every time, it's good and interesting enough. The cast is awesome. I love this cast from the minute they were all announced, and every single one of them is perfectly suited to their respective characters. Even Finn Wolfhard, who I gotta say has really taken a few steps back out of that third season of Stranger Things as Pugsley Addams. Scene Steelers, probably Chloe Grace Moretz as Wednesday. She was just so perfect and morose and hilarious. And Nick Kroll, even though I was a little bit thrown off by the fact that he was doing a Gilbert Gottfried impression, but again, that just kind of incorporates into everything that made this film so special and really made this film feel like the great throwback, and also probably one of my favorite animated movies of the year.
Totally awesome.
Hello? Jesper Johansson, postman.
All right, now we're getting into the big dogs, starting with another Netflix original film, Klaus.
Mr. Klaus, you have a gift. You were meant for making toys.
So this was the other film besides Addams Family that I was talking about that really felt like a throwback to the animated films that I watched in my childhood. And I found out, as it turns out, there was a reason why, because the director of this film, I forgot his name, actually was an animator in not quite the Disney Renaissance, but the post-Disney Renaissance, I would say, the late 90s. And because the whole thing is that after Lion King, all the Disney films that came out after Lion King really don't get the same amount of respect and love, I would say, that the early 90s era of Disney got. They're all very enjoyable, and some of them are my favorite Disney films. Like, I love Tarzan, Mulan, Hercules, Hunchback of Notre Dame. But this director, was an animator during that era. And this time he gives us another Christmas original, but it's not quite the same as the Christmas Chronicles, because this time it is telling its own story. It's the story of a spoiled brat mailman who is shipped off to a random northern desolate town that he has to deliver a certain amount of mail to. But the problem is the town is more preoccupied with their own civil war. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet style, but like really absurdist and really nutso. And ends up finding this one random lumberjack in the woods who ends up helping him kind of generate his own letter delivery service, and kind of in terms of working and playing around with the mythos of Santa Claus, and just also being like a really great, really awesome, feel good, really, really good movie for the holidays. Like, I haven't cried at a movie in a very long time, but this is one of the movies that I would say almost brought me to tears at a few points. Fantastic voiceover performances all around, but particularly from the main two, Jason Schwartzman and J.K. Simmons. Schwartzman is definitely kind of like overacting, giving like the traditional like nonstop chatterbox kind of performance that we're used to. But Simmons, I really feel like Simmons, and it really is a tribute to Simmons' power as an actor to generate the type of emotion from me that he does, because with very, very few words and just letting the physicality of his animated character carry the performance, I get so many emotional feels from this movie. It's a great movie. It's to watch with the family, just to watch on your own if you're feeling down. Like, it really, like, this film gave me a big pickup where I didn't think it would.